The long-awaited solo leveling anime is finally upon us, and damn, it's been a while since I last consumed any solo leveling content. I started reading solo leveling back in the day when only 50 chapters of the manhwa was out, and after I caught up with the manhwa, I read the novel which was already completed and never touched it since then. But now, the anime is finally upon us, and I was really excited to jump into the solo leveling story once again. But I was very fearful of doing that because of the track record anime studios have with adapting manhwa. Let's not forget God of High School and Tower of God. But to be fair, I enjoyed the Tower of God soundtrack, so I'll give it that. But now it's solo leveling's turn, the king of manhwa. Surely they are not going to mess this up, right? But before you go further into the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I talk all things manga and anime, and without further ado, let's go back into the video. Solo leveling might just be the hypest power fantasy out there. It does everything a power fantasy should do and gets it right. In short, solo leveling is power fantasy done right. Step 1, have everyone look down on your weak MC that's going to have special powers and prove everyone wrong. Step 2, have many levels you can go up so as to have as many hype moments as possible. And step 3, let the MC defeat the big bad and have the world react to the greatness the MC just achieved. And solo leveling executes this step so well, it's no wonder that it's the best power fantasy out there. But the anime does things different. See, one of the major criticisms for solo leveling was that it had no side characters, or its side characters were very underutilized. And the anime seems to be rectifying this problem by giving more screen time to the side characters and introducing characters that appear later on in the story earlier, and also giving them scenes that never happened in the manhwa. But to be honest with you, I never saw the underutilization of side characters in solo leveling as a problem, because it's in the title. The show is called Solo Leveling for a reason. It's about this dude who levels up alone. It's simple as that. And for people who want to see the side characters utilized more, wouldn't that affect what makes this show great in the first place? Like tinkering with something that is already good, I don't think is a good idea. And we see that in some scenes where Jinwoo is in the dungeon fighting people and monsters such as Dong-suk and his lackeys, where we see Jinwoo about to body them, and out of nowhere we cut to a scene where some girls are chatting in a cafe. I know these characters are ones who'll get introduced in the future, but it's coming at a cost. All this efforts trying to involve side characters is interrupting the most important part of the story, and they really stick out as a sore thumb. I'm hearing arguments like solo leveling was mindless action and now the anime is fixing that, but wasn't the reason solo leveling was so popular and beloved because it was a mindless action done right? If they are going to do this, the placement of the scenes where side characters are given screen time should be better and not just dumped on us abruptly. But after saying all this, I've got to give props to what they are trying, and if it works, it could potentially be stronger than the manhwa, writing wise. I know I've complained about the placement of some of these scenes, but what the characters are talking about almost link back to Jinwoo's situation. Narratively, the anime might be doing the story better than the manhwa. You can clearly see the writers are trying to make this more than a power fantasy. I'm not totally opposed to it, because if any of you are Game of Thrones fans here, when House of the Dragons came out, some things were changed, such as the king's characterization, and it turned out for the better, and some people even prefer the House of Dragons first season than the book. So I hope them involving side characters more works out. The solo leveling anime's animation is good, but I wish it was more than that. I wish it had gotten the treatment of Sousou no Frieren and Jujutsu Kaisen animation wise, because if there is any story that deserves that, it's solo leveling. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but let's be honest, it's not at the level where Demon Slayer and JJK was at, and solo leveling is one that deserves that level, that quality of animation. But I got to say, some of this manhwa adaptation like God of High School and Tower of God could have been up there with the likes of Demon Slayer and JJK had they done them right. And I hope the solo leveling anime reaches that level. Overall, I'm really enjoying this solo leveling anime and hope they fix up some of the problem, because this has the potential to be truly great. This is all I have to say for today. Please make sure to subscribe and like the video. With that said, see you in the next one.